desktop for a while, and I wanted to check it out. I played it once before for about like an hour, but I put it back in 2016, and I haven't really touched it since. So I don't know if I'm going to play the whole game. I just want to feel it out and see if it, is going to stay on my desktop and I'm going to explore more of this game, or if I'm going to sort of delete it and put it away. But I wanted to take this journey with you guys. So let's start a new game. This is supposed to be kind of like sort of a mystery, from what I understand. I don't really remember much about it or even what the premise was. I just know that I threw money at it way back in 2016. So I'm kind of going into this as green as you guys are. I know this is an old game, and most people have already seen it, but I did want to kind of check it out one more time before I put it to bed. Alright.
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done.
Alright, looks like we are now driving. I can say that
They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
I can say that the driving doesn't feel super great. I'm not really thrilled about the top of the car sort of blocking my view. I haven't had my hand on the gas in a while. I'm just kind of
When the
coasting.
roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
Alright, before we drive there anyway and ignore those signs, let's maybe check out the area, see if there's anything to find. I do know that this game is sort of all about exploring, and it's supposed to reward you for that, if I understand. I hope that it's not like a super linear game and I'm just sort of misunderstanding the objective. Let's find out. See if there's anything up here. Oh, no, steps are hard. Oh my. Okay, we're gonna go all the way. Yeah. Let's open it up. No? We're not about opening things up. Oh, E to open things up. Oh, and I can just take things? Awesome! So we got some stuff that we might need. I wish what's inventory? I? Yeah, it is. It's in our journal.
Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations.
I like this narrator. Case of vandalism. Son of a wealthy Chicago banker, Hamilton made his own gold rush in the north of Quebec, where he established a copper mine and helped his family's small fortune thrive. You can't make a fortune without breaking a few lives. That's the saying Hamilton lives by. The expansion of his copper mine certainly did not help him make new friends. Hamilton is accusing the Cree people of attacking his estate, especially his luxurious hunting lodge somewhere north of, I don't know how to pronounce that, Chiboyamiyu? I do not know how to pronounce that. Yet another way to make friends. The Cree certainly do not hold him dear. His mind's probably upset the Great Spirit. This vandalism case is definitely for me. It needs the eye of a professional. I'm meeting Hamilton at the general store, 1553 LaRange. Okay. Seems like Hamilton's a real piece of work. Kind of it. That's all we got right now. I mean, that's fine. Alright, well, it's kind of a nice touch. I really like the, oh, there is one. I really like the narrator sort of chiming in with a few stuff. This is me. I'm a private detective. It pays the bills along with my veteran's pension for my time in Korea. Usually I'm hired to track unfaithful husbands, but divorces are expensive. So infidelities are scarce these days. William Hamilton hired me. He had a check and many promises, and I really wanted to leave Montreal. And Lake at Temepec is the perfect place to get away. When you want to leave, you leave. And this is our buddy Hamilton, who's upsetting the indigenous peoples. Rich industrialist, much hated and much loved. Anything that isn't his in the Manistan region, he wants. Buying is his only power. Hamilton has complained time and time again of being persecuted. Sometimes he'll say it's the people of Lake Atimipek, sometimes the Cree people. Some would say he deserves it. When you exploit people, the least you can do is stay away from them. It's a fair statement. And we got no photos right now. Are we going to get a camera at some point? I sure hope so. All right, let's see. How do we get out of inventory? There's our map. Really don't. It's great. It's an actual map. It's going to be fun later. Inventory. That's all the stuff that we just picked up. Awesome. Consumable. Got some cigarettes. Not great for you. Wait, what's our name again? Just one more time. So I know who to scold for smoking cigarettes. Who are we? Carl. Our name's Carl. Alright, Carl. Let's get back to the game, shall we? Or let's not remember the buttons. No, we can put the map back. We can put the map back, Carl. Alright, let's go. Can I just fall, I wonder, in this game? Can I just, like, jump to my death? Ooh, what's the low stakes way of finding that out? Oh. Alright, game. If there's anywhere else to go, I don't really want to. Let's check out that trash. Now, how much exploring is there? The bottle. So I can get an empty bottle? I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's good to know that I can pick it up. Our car is very loud. Lake Enemy Peck.
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track.
Thank you, narrator. Manistan. It will be good. Awesome. Let's look at this map too. No? A phone in here. We'll close the door, but really it looks like there's only a flyer. They translated us. That's nice. Alright, let's get out of here. Doesn't really look like there's anything going on here.
Hamilton never mentioned a road blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it.
Yeah, can we just sort of... Ah, here we go.
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
So that's what those pincers are for. Alright, let's get back in our car and move right on along. I hate driving.
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here.
I hate driving in real life too. I don't know if you can tell. Let's give it some gas.
The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him and
Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. My headphones have a rather nasty habit of dying in the in the middle of my streaming, but let's see. Hopefully we can just continue as we were and get right back to the game. Yeah, it looks like we're okay. Alright, let's proceed.
Enough to go on with her scheming against him.
I wonder if you could wreck this
Hamilton
car.
had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
I'd like to step out.
Carl's military training had made him a very punctual man.
I have to go forward.
Being late to his meeting with Hamilton was out of the question.
Alright, that's fine. I was just slowly reversing anyway. I mean, I'm not the best driver, but there was some room there, I think, to swerve. All right, Carl. Oh, Carl! What an accident!
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care. It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
I understand.
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help.
Alright, Carl, I get it. You're not in a good way. I just want to check this.
It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters W.H. Carl thought about taking it. Nothing was to be left to chance.
Oh, Carl, come on. Let me open this. Oh. Alright. Didn't really do anything. Wait, flip it. Look at her. Alright. I'm going to show us Carl is less accurate. Alright, well, put the map back, Carl. We're not really looking for... There's a lot of things in here. Anything in the suitcases that we can... No? Alright, well, it's good to look through that. Seems like we got a fair amount out of it, but now I think we should...
This deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it.
Alright, we've got two ways we can go here. Maybe we should take a gander at the map. I guess that's where we are, and I guess we can just go straight. But we're never going to make it to the general store. Looks like there's a tower a little bit farther down the road. Let's see if we can get there in time. I don't really see much of anything, which isn't super great. What do we got in our inventory for Carl? His health is fine, but he's very cold.
The cold was burning Carl. He would not hold...
Am I going to die because I didn't go fast enough? I hate that. Flashlight, journal, map. What do we have in the way of insert fire
Not much longer. He had to warm himself.
I don't know how to warm myself. You do that. You seem to not want me to move forward, so I've obviously gone the wrong way. At least I know this for when my poor character dies next time. Oh no, Carl! Carl, we're so close, please. Can we go back in the car? Is the car warmer? Okay. I think we're going down this path this time. Oh no, car! I see it. I see it. Alright, we're going, Carl. We're getting in the things. Stay with me, buddy. The door right here, we're gonna get inside. Alright, we're inside here.
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more, and was now on his way to new adventures.
Oh, start fire, absolutely. Oh, we're missing something to start a fire? Alright, Carl, I'm sorry to keep you out here this long. Is there any wood? Did I miss wood outside? I hate to put it back outside, it looks like it's freezing. Oh, here we go. Get inside, get back inside, Carl. You're freezing to death. There we go. Get up in that stove, Carl. So we know now that we have a fire. Be all warm and toasty by the fire. Never not use a lot. Anything else around here? There's a tower up here. See if we can call anyone for help, maybe? There's literally nothing up here. It's just a tower. It's kind of disappointing. There's a lake over there, but it doesn't look like there's anything to do. Abandoned boat. There's a lake. Alright. There's a fire outside too. Let's start. Let's do it. Anything to keep the area as warm as possible. Alright. Except for the fact that it's established that we need to keep warm, this area doesn't really seem super helpful. We can try going down the path again, maybe go back to the car, see what's going on. Explore everything we need to explore over here. Right up in the tower. Everything looks like it's fenced off. Yeah. Alright, let's go back. I wish Carl was a bit faster. He doesn't seem like he's a runner. No. Alright, Carl, where's the car?
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. Now wasn't a good time to wander about. Hamilton was still out there.
That's where we need to go, though, isn't it? It's at 1556. That's the place we're meeting. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Did we make a mistake? No. But we did hit the fence. Definitely upset the game there a little bit. Oh, God. How do we stop? Boy's house. Alright.
Carl was dying to stretch his legs, but he had to stay focused on the task at hand.
What's the... Alright, I guess I'll back up. Out of the boy's house. I'm not really an exceptional driver, though, game. It's gonna be tough. Alright. We're gonna pretend like we didn't see that place. Definitely, does not encourage you to run around. A lot of residential houses, it looks like.
The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Alright, we're going to the general store. Oh. Don't like that loading. Makes me nervous. Alright, here we are, the general store. Let's see if our buddy is waiting there for us.
Surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottle. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
Okay, so the milkman was just here. This water doesn't appear to be frozen yet, which is kind of weird. Got a tarp going on. Ooh, dog. What the heck is this about? Yeah.
Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out. Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first.
Alright, Carl. That's pretty neat. Yeah, we'll keep the picture.
Prince? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead?
Oh, there's definitely something going on here. Oh my god, it's a frozen man. How do we take out a camera?
The
again?
Polaroid, Carl's long-standing and faithful ally, had seen its share of husbands caught red-handed cheating. There's always something out there waiting to be snapped away.
I love taking pictures. I hope there is
Carl wondered what the hell could that thing be. It looked like a man fossilized in ice.
It was. What's wrong, Carl? Freaking out? Not before we take a picture. How's that? What? Uh-oh, if I look at him, doesn't look like there's anything else. Oh, I can't really say. I don't want to get lost in the middle of the... Oh, there is more. What is going on? I really have to get back to the general store. Carl's gonna freeze.
wondered how long he would have to endure this skin
Come on, game. I'm really interested in what happens. Not that I want to.
stinging cold.
Not that I want to kill Carl or anything. I just. I'm sorry, Carl. I hope you make it back without dying. Hey, a cabin with more frozen people in it. Alright, well, let's take another picture, I guess. It's freaking me out. No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it, Carl. And we're gonna get in here because you do a little jump. Nice.
The air was freezing, right down to the bone. The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste. The general store, along with several more infrastructures in the area, had been acquired by wealthy industrialist William J. Hamilton. Perhaps the village should be rechristened Hamiltown.
Ches Land Chase changes hands. Founded by Bertland Land Chase more than 20 years ago, the general store, better known as Ches Land Chase, is one of Manistan's economic mainstays. Since the passing of its aged owner, however, business wasn't as blooming as it once was. Gilles Land Chase, inheritor of the humble establishment, had no choice but to sell everything to William Hamilton, the rich and famous businessman who sparked a major controversy last year when he announced the reopening expansion of his copper mine. As of now, operations of the... Oh, okay, alright. Not that I don't want to read this, it just seems like our buddy over here is losing himself a little bit. Let's see.
What a mess. Clearly, there was some major revamping work underway here. The place looked barely habitable.
We got some cigarettes. Great. Not super awesome for warming up, though.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days.
Restore its room to its charm. It's definitely not going to. What? Harlequin novels? A box full of Harlequin novels.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days.
Right. Awesome. We have these like lights, but we definitely don't like freezing to death. Mr. Lanchez, where he's thing in there. We light a fire. Awesome. Okay, always good to have a fire. Seems to... Uh-oh.
A sudden cold snap struck Carl, who felt like he was pulled into a dream. Something was hidden under the stairs. The man grabbed his rifle. Carl felt a sense of dread in him. Perhaps their spousal relationship had been cooling down lately. It seemed like secrecy was commonplace in this house.
So under the stairs and under the floor at the bathroom. I gotta go check out that other prison guy.
Carl felt the cold slowly dissipate and was brought back to reality. Giselle was now only ice, and all that was left of her voice was a diary. She confided in this diary, amongst other things, the tragic story of a young woman, a victim. Was this what she was hiding?
Giselle's diary, page 1, September. Mother once told me when I first met Giles that I hadn't picked the brightest bulb in the lot, and as the years flew by, I'm seeing the truth of the words. Always trust your mother's wisdom. The blackmailing scheme is a prime example of Giles' brightness. He's like a small dog. He thinks he's bigger than he actually is. He growls, genuinely thinking he's scary, but everyone knows he can be pushed aside with just a little kick. He truly believes he can blackmail Hamilton, the big boss himself. It's going to be a long time in hell before my poor Giles can manage to pull off such a feat. After all, Hamilton's a rich, learned, and an influential man. Not only is that blackmailing idea bad to begin with, let's be honest, Giles is way out of his league. Giles doesn't even know how he's actually going to carry this out. I don't even think he ever would. He's just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. He says he'll do it eventually, but I know better. Successfully blackmailing requires masterful cunning, and Giles is a master of nothing. He's a slave, and forever will be. I often look at the safe he keeps hidden in the big wall, in which he stores all these incriminating documents he intends to use, and I just can't come to grips with the sheer ridiculousness of the whole thing. Alright, well, I guess let's see what was underneath the steps if we can. Looks like they were repairing the whole house. Yes, it does look like that, doesn't it? Oh. Always use pills. Or painkillers. Painkiller pills. Kind of excited about this game so far. Did not expect it to be so titillating. The unpacked boxes suggest they just moved here. Alright.
Looks like the holes in that puzzle are there to stay.
Indeed it does, but now just looking at yourself freaking out anymore? No. Good. Alright, so that means I definitely need to go back to that man in the woods and check on it. Can I not? Alright, a lot of empty evidence right now. Oh, food.
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Oh no!
Carl had seen that kind of safe before. With its double-layered security system blending letters and numbers, its code couldn't be broken by the common burglar.
Oh, come on. He definitely saw. Let's validate. Oh, just wants to put it in. Alright, well. Shiza. He definitely has his password hidden around.
It felt
here,
like old people were all these walls could see for years. The Lachances could hardly be blamed for wanting to freshen things up a bit.
Bernard. Bertrand Lachance, 1948. Does it have anything to do with this picture? Is that why he was looking at it? He grabbed a shotgun from here, but his shotgun's not here anymore.
Beautiful portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
I like the novels.
A nice white coating would restore the room to its charm of olden days.
Alright.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
Oh, what's that? And Polaroid phone. Nonsense, then.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
Oh, I feel so dumb. Should have paid
Many
attention.
boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in.
I can just get lost from anywhere, huh? Alright. Doesn't seem like I can go back to Giselle. Man, I should have paid more attention. Look at big salmons everywhere.
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Oh, there's a fire starter in there. Oh, this is a fire starter. Alright, I'm kind of mad at myself because I definitely just missed it.
Ah, moving. What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box.
Maybe it has something to do with this. 1948, maybe it's BL 1948. I don't know. I feel like I should know. There's a thing in her thing. I have no idea. Oh, is it like literally just one number? So it's one letter, three numbers. We don't know what those one letter and three numbers are. Crud. Could go back and check the guy out.
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Oh, that's good to know. Turn the light in here. There we go. We've definitely been through all of this by now. Alright, let me go, I guess, warm up by the fire, and then I'll leave. I'll just have to remember that the safe is there. It's kind of a shame. Mad at myself. Grr. Come on, Giles isn't supposed to be that smart. Maybe there's another hint in the diary. This image is shocking. Giselle, chances frozen, or freezers behind all this. Caribou footprints. Yeah, but do we keep diaries? We kept that diary, didn't we? Options, documents. Isabel article about the store, Giselle's diary. I guess I should have paid attention. Plus, I think it's time for me to go. I'm gonna cozy up by the stove real quick. And then I'm gonna head on out. Alright, off we go. Always take a log. Never not take a log. What are we? Too good for a log? Let's see if there's anything back here before we go. No, it doesn't appear to be. We just went around in a big old circle.
The crossbow bolt stuck into the wooden stairs reminded Carl of the arrow that was said to have hit Achilles' heel. But who was the intended Achilles this time?
I do believe I left the wrong way. Oh yeah, totally keep the picture. This is the way I came before, so this is the way I should go back. Let's go check out this guy now that we kind of know what to do.
A shiver ran down Carl's spine as he glanced over another body trapped in ice. Indeed, the scene was quite chilling. Carl felt familiar shivers going down his spine, and he was back to the realm of visions.
I was over here, and the guy almost got bit by a dog. He ran away. What's he trying to show me? Oh.
To all appearances, this was a hunting log. Better yet, a war diary.
The beast enjoys long slumbers. Mysterious journal page 1. The beast enjoys long slumbers. The sanctuary seems impregnable. Ice is everywhere. I need to exercise patience and wait for it to come out to think like a hunter. The beast often invades the settlements bordering the lake. It terrorizes the white people. They never see it coming, but they feel its presence, a cold dread grabbing at your innards. The beast excites the wolves, making them more aggressive. One attacked me. I had to cut its throat. The blade digging into its flesh, made the sound of a taut wire. The beast is getting closer to the villages it moves at night, bringing heavy snow and strong gust of winds along with it. I track the snow veil. I do not know the white man frozen in ice, but I do know this. It is the work of the beast. Its attacks curdle the blood of its victims. White men know nothing of its force of nature. I touched the ice imprisoning the white man. I saw things, but I do not understand them. Alright, so we got a weird supernatural beast. No biggie.
What could these engraved numbers mean?
I like to believe that's the code to the
A fresh
safe.
path suddenly appeared before Carl. The vision slowly faded away, like an icicle melting in the palm of your hand. Carl, back in the real world, now knew who the icebound man was. Gilles Lachance, the general store's manager himself. That had to be the worst parking job ever. Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts, or not.
No, we want to open it. So Gilles Lachance. I've been calling him Giles. Aw. Sorry, Jill. Okay, so we now have... No, we don't want to take a picture. Oh, Okay, so it took us around in a small circle, which is fine. Once we get our butts back to the general store. But we now have, I think, at least one piece of the puzzle to that safe, which is 739. That's definitely the code. I'm sure we could brute force it if we needed to. What does it say? 739. No letter. Alright. Let's go back. First, let's do some stuff at the general store, and then we're gonna go back with that note really quick. You know what's in there?
Something fell to the bottom of the box. Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
Mr. John Law, Montreal. Okay.
Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
Not Hamilton. This place is a mess. Yeah, it really is. Mysterious unbraided bands. Maybe not all that mysterious. We got something going on over there. Didn't even travel half the province of Quebec to come here. Oh, it's a long way. This is a mess. Oh, yes, fire starter kits, please. Always, yes.
Amateur hunters showing some pride at having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought. A nice picture of the Magasin La Chance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten. Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already.
General store also serves as a post office for locals. Alright, got a lot of mail over here. Secretary wouldn't be a luxury in here. Cash register instructions. Open cash register. Punch the price. 2 numbers minimum. Press sale. Turn the crank 2 times. Punch if machine doesn't work. Got it. Flyer. Quebec's Klondike. Alright.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
Ah, that gave me a bit of a spook. Has to be the Jenny, right? We know where those lead.
Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears?
Corn paper, let it be known.
Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other.
Let it be known you're nothing more than a brigand of a robber, a garbage hoarder, a viper, a leech, a monster. You're holding a knife to my throat. Too bad for me, but... Something wrong with Jenny?
Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one.
Yeah, it seemed like a wiring problem. Let's see what we can do about that. Can't see anything. Ah! Already seen this. Okay, let's go over here. Start a fire, or if I just want to start a fire if we have to. I don't want to, just start starting fires. I need a key. Why is there a key? Alright, I guess let's go back in the convenience store. Or we can break in a window, I guess. Open? No. That puts us in an awkward position. No. We got no light in here. Electricity turned off. Electricity from generator. Electricity turned off. Electricity from power line. Generator's broken. Does that do it? Did it turn on everything there? No. It's only using the power from the Jenny. Let's see.
Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
You know what, Hamilton? I have a frog in my throat. When people have a frog in their throat, they do not take risks by going to work. Customers can catch it right, and I am a wise man. Not to worry, I will have a nice conductor's note, which I'm going out to get right now. Sadly, in the meantime, I will have to close down the shop. Unless you would like to come fill in for me? I wouldn't dare advise you, after all. You must know how it's done, since it's yours now. With kind regards, your dedicated manager. Shit. Oh, I forgot I got a 6 name already. Oh, no.
The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone.
Too easy, wouldn't it? Alright, we got the key to the other area, so let's just go ahead and get out there. Just got a key. What was that key to? My camera map, journal, steak. son of a basket. Let's go. Oh, how I wish you ran. You really not run? Carl, you really not run at all? No, sprint. Left shift. Alright. Oh. Oh, Carl. I'm so happy.
The murder weapon. What was that doing there, Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
Wow, I didn't know that box could go up a letter from Hamilton. It is as a citizen of Her Majesty and the free economic chambers of the world that I must suggest we follow some proper authorities. The worst is happening at this very moment. I cannot write at length, but I am requesting immediate help from
Carl
my
wondered
country.
how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
I believe the free world is in grave danger. Remember my community, the honorable. That's all well and good, but I still don't know how to progress. I feel like there's something really obvious that's in here. Open pop. Climb up. That's pretty neat. Got a bottle. That's good. Also, Carl's freezing to death. Okay, we're gonna light that fire because I know it does an auto save, and then I think I'm gonna end the stream right there. I might come right back. I do just want to check and see if the audio is working, because I know I've been having a lot of issues with audio. So let's just light this fire, and then I'll end the stream real quick, and hopefully we'll come right back, but I gotta see what's going on first. Okay. Save game. Main menu. Alright. Alright, sorry about that, guys, but hopefully we'll be right back. Let me just stop the stream for now.